If one was going to ask me what I believe has been the major macrocosm of Rooster Teeth going essentially bankrupt, some would, some especially Kick Vic trolls would think I'm going to say firing Vic Mignogna back in 2019. Well, believe it or not this time. Believe it or not in this case. Sure, it was a cause, but it was a microcosm. To me, we have to turn the clocks a little further back. Specifically, we got to go back to 2015. What happened then? Monty Oum passed away. Yeah, I'm pointing the macrocosm and the key point that led to the downward spiral of Rooster Teeth at Monty's death. You're wondering why? Well, think of it this way. Monty, while he would go a bit overboard with the use of CG animation in his projects like Dead Fantasy, Red vs. Blue, Ruby, he was at least smart enough to keep a budget tightly packed together with these shows. And people like Miles, now I'm not going to fully vilify them for this. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but the execution was horrible. Guys like Miles Luna, Kerry Shawcross, Gavin Free, and to a lesser extent Bernie Burns, the other co-founders of Rooster Teeth, they were more willing to be frivolous with the money to push more projects. But as long as Monty was around, odds are they were going to get skinflinted, i.e., Monty wasn't going to budge on making new projects or lengthening the time of episodes of current projects unless he saw fit. Let me double check when Monty died. Let's see. When was his death? Okay, so it's been 9 years and 3 days since his death. So when Monty died on February 1st of 2015, this was kind of like opportunity knocking at the door of Miles, Kerry, Bernie, and Gavin, but more so with Miles and Kerry than Gavin and Bernie. This led to the creations of shows like Camp Camp, Ruby Chibi, The Nomad of Nowhere, and Genlock. Just as examples. And then they ended up and then 2018 they ended up purchasing Screw Attack, which led to them also getting their paws on the Southern Gaming Convention and by proxy turning it into the Rooster Teeth Expo Convention. But this came with trade-offs. The biggest one being outsourcing for veteran VAs not tethered to the studio. Not tethered to the company, i.e., they had to get major VAs for the characters they wanted to add to other shows. Ruby being the biggest target of this. This led to them getting people like Vic Mignogna, Chris Sabat, Travis Willingham, Dave Fennoy, Mela Lee, Elizabeth Maxwell, Jason Douglas, Yuri Lowenthal, Laura Bailey, Chris Monica Rial, Kent Williams, Era Plott, Jeremy Lee, Don M. Bennett, Chris Weckenhoff, Tom Womack, Mike Lauer, Robbie Damon, Lucy Christian, Caitlin Glass, J. Michael Tatum, John Swayze. Yeah, I know in John's case, he was much further down the line for the Studio Shaft Collaborative Ice Queendom, but he still counts. Christopher Guerrero, Josh, now Jesse Grelly, Dante Bosco for Camp Camp, Aaron Dismuke. I think I mentioned David Fenoy, but I'll mention him again if I didn't. But you get the point. Outsourcing costs a good sum of money, and depending on how big the egos of certain VAs are, it widened the hole in Rooster Teeth's purse, so to speak. But they really shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion, with Genlock, mostly because of how much money they had to pay three specific actors: Dakota Fanning, Michael B. Jordan, and David Tennant. The second of the names I mentioned had only one voice acting role, to the best of my knowledge, to his name. Want to know what that one was? As Cyborg in Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. Coupled to the massive amount of money to use for the animation used costs to make Genlock, coupled with the fact that it wasn't up to standard Rooster Teeth quality and fans felt alienated when season 2 was put behind an HBO Max paywall, and the outrage began to pour. Again, the Vic firing a microcosm, not the big cause. And many Rooster Teeth defenders may fight me on this. Trust me, they're going to. Or call me as a nutcase. But think about it, guys. And I'm saying this to Arnold, Amber, Dan, Knight, Corporal Russo, Liam Catterson. Think. Have many of the Ruby seasons been that good since Monty's death in 2015? Outside of Volume 3, I can't think of any that are legitimately great. Was Genlock any good? No, it was overkill divisive. Were Camp Camp and Nomad of Nowhere cut down in their primes? Yes. And what was the main problem? The amount of money spent was canceling out and not over exceeding the amount of money made on the show, made from people watching the shows. To me, that's what's led to Rooster Teeth's tailspin. Monty's death and overkill, frivolous spending on new projects. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything else, from the Vic firings to the controversies and corruption that were going on backstage and behind the scenes, a microcosm and nothing more. This video is done strictly as an analysis Not much else. Till then, leave a comment, smash a like, and sub to the channel. Mets2128 is signing out. Goodbye and good night.